Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. Actually, I'm going to check my settings real quick here. Just make sure everything is working. Yep, there you go. Okay. Just making sure everything is working the way that I think it should be. All right. Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Saturday night, October 23rd. It's 7:12 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. And Bitcoin truth seekers, here is the energy that you are emitting. Bitcoin truth seekers. The peaceful revolution is a beautiful thing. I wanted to hop on real quick because I see something interesting worth noting. All right. We'll rock through this quick. So the market, of course, in the crypto squares universe is a mix of green and red today. Looking at volume, though, check this out. On Binance, spot trading volume 17.8 billion, down 34% in the last 24 hours. That is really, really super low volume. Okay, it's weekend, but still, that's very, very low. For futures, derivatives, 51 billion, down 34% last 24 hours. We want to see at least 70 billion for derivatives and spot at least 30, and really a good day is about 50. So we have low volume and it's been going down rather rapidly. Now check this out. Not even 3 billion. 3 billion is my cutoff mark for a day where Bitcoin's going to make upwards moves. Okay. This is retail trading volume for Bitcoin explicitly across the big exchanges. We're at 2.8 billion. No, want to be at least 3 billion, at least for anything to happen. So right now, I'd say that Bitcoin trading volume, as far as retail, is extraordinarily just about zero. You want to see at least 4, 5 billion, 6 billion. This just means that the master nodes are running, miners are running, minimal transactions are happening, market makers. So basically, we ain't got no volume, not spot trading volume, and not futures volume on Binance, nor do we have big Bitcoin trading volume across big exchanges. Looking at longs versus short sentiment, 69% long, 30% short for Bitcoin on Binance. That is a pretty good long sentiment. For Ethereum, 73% long, 26% short. So we do have a pretty darn strong long sentiment on Binance for Bitcoin and Ethereum. The market is closed, but the S&P 500 on Friday did close with a very indecisive little doji there. Interesting. Didn't know what it wanted to do. In general, it's on an upwards trend. Dollar strength index down here continues to go downwards. All right. Now, Bitcoin, here's the big deal. All right. This is it. The daily MACD. It's been up. Wonderful. A quick tangent down has changed things around a bit. We are definitely we have crossed negative. Histogram is going in the wrong direction. This is rather abrupt change, and as you can see, let's look right here historically. Okay, look at a chain. Look at a cross that looks like the one that we have today. Let's look at that and see what happened. All right, so we're moving up. Bam. See. Get that turn, that negative change. You can see right here, boom, we went down. Look at this negative cross here that we had. Boom. Wow. So in general, that's a pretty abrupt negative cross. And as you can see, Bitcoin's already trending down. But here's the thing. We do have support lines, here where previous support and resistance where Bitcoin definitely could bounce off of. Totally possible. But I'd be very, very wary when Bitcoin on a daily chart does switch negative on the MACD. Usually you're seeing some downwards momentum already happening as you're getting close to that. Then when it crosses, you usually see more. So like I could look here, look at this negative cross, then look what happened here. We continue down. We're going down before then. Here we have this negative cross, as you can see. Boom. Of course, going to get negative cross right now. And look, we've already been going down. It's all about, are we going to find support or are we going to go down? The thing is that in general, Bitcoin is pretty healthy. It's been an upwards trend. There are areas of support and resistance that it definitely could bounce off of. Something we could do to have a little bit of fun here, since we're all hanging out, make this brief as possible. But let's look at a fib level. Okay, so check this out. If I just look at when Bitcoin started to make a move off the 314 moving average here on the daily chart, look at that. We're hanging right at the 236 fib level. It seems to be support. And it does represent some previous support and resistance in the chart. So we're at a place we definitely could bounce. Sometimes you get as you can see here on daily MACD, we really were flirting with disaster for a while, but in general, we trended up. Okay, but then of course we did cross negative right here, as you can see pretty powerfully, and then boom, it's reflected there. So dangerous time to be alive and to be in Bitcoin. So we are at a place, a fib level that makes sense where we could see support and move from there. Sometimes these crosses are just negative crosses are just for a moment and then they continue. But in general, they do to me show a little bit of flaccidness, a little bit of weak in the upwards movement. So check this out. If I take a 45-minute chart here, which is one of my favorite time frames, and I go back to when we started moving up back here on that 29th of September, we're moving up, and this fib level, this fib sequence, the way I drew it, it really does stick to things. I mean, if your fib is right or not, the trick is just to see, does the chart stick to it, you know? And this definitely does. And here we are at the 236 here on the 45-minute chart once again. So we do have previous support and resistance. I should say, let's say previous support here in the chart for where we are now. So it's all about, are we going to make a bounce? This is Sunday. Well, we're moving into Sunday, and we have no volume whatsoever. We have shit volume for Bitcoin across the big exchanges. We have basically spot trading volume for all pairs is nothing. Derivatives, absolutely nothing. As low as it can be. A long sentiment on Binance, you know, for Bitcoin and Ethereum. For what it's worth, the dollar strength index last week was just dumping nonstop. S&P 500 kind of stalled on Friday. But here we go. Negative MACD cross. Myself, not financial advice, entertainment purposes only, but just to tell you what I did hedge out a small amount of Bitcoin. I put it over to USDC. Of my big hodl, I took a small little bit out, only because if we dump, I want to be able to have some cash for other things that are going to move up, and also cash to buy, you know, carrot juice and vitamin C and, you know, grass-fed beef and things like that. So I think overall, I think we're going to continue up this year, of course. But right now, are we going to see a dump down to the 382 fib level here? That's 56,000. A lot of people have talked about 57,000, 54,000 being a spot we could bounce, that we could retrace to. Definitely, you can see no problem here on this fib level. You can see previous support resistance on the daily chart. So, and you can see it here on the 0.5 fib level too, which would be like 53,000. And some people talk about that being a possible bounce spot. Also, between the golden pocket, the 618 and the 650, that's right around 49,000 and 50,000, right in there. That's the spot we could see a bounce, and that's right where the 50 moving average is. Of course, the 200 moving average, which we're well above, is just below the 786, last place you want to bounce, honestly, and that'd be around 46,000. Now, I don't think we're going to have such a insane dump like that, but watch out. Daily MACD cross negative. We're at a place on the fib level and on fib levels, as I've drawn them here, and also looking at previous support on the chart. We seem to be at a spot where we have found a place to sit. 45-minute chart for looking at immediate price action here. We definitely are where we've had previous support and resistance. We seem to be finding support there. 236 logical fib level. We're right where we need to be to turn back up. But daily MACD being negative creates a lot of downwards pressure on the daily chart and all smaller time frames. Looking at the indicators here, in general, they're still showing a bit of a cool off. The stochastic RSI is getting pretty darn low where it kind of has to bounce. Wave channel oscillator by Lazy Bear is definitely still trending down. KRI, predecessor of RSI, is still trending down, but just did a positive upwards tangent back towards the green. Squeeze indicator shows we're still losing momentum. And of course, the directional index, it's in the red, but it has been slowly trending towards positive. ADX is now going down, which is kind of cool when it doesn't quite come into place so much in this sideways action. With that said, what's going to happen? We have low volume. We're going into Sunday where it usually gets lower. What's going to happen? Is this going to be about pumping or dumping? Just wanted to bring this forth, and I'm just saying, what I did basically is I just took some stash out. I took some BTC and some ETH out of my kind of longer term holds, my kind of hodl, as you would say, and also out of my I trade in USDT and USDC mostly, but I definitely took some Bitcoin and Ethereum out of like my trading stash. Just so if we dump, I can just sit back and I got funds to, live on. And so I have funds also to trade on, because there'll be some, if Bitcoin does start dumping, I want to have some, some cash on hand to get into some of the things that'll be moving up during that time. So I think we're still heading towards that magical 100K this year, et cetera, et cetera. But right now, we're looking pretty darn weak. Looking at Ethereum, it's been moving up. It got to the top of the RSI cave here. Now it's trending down. Its indicators are, they basically just don't show much of anything. It's kind of sideways with a slight upwards momentum. Bounced off the RSI cave up top. Makes sense. Here's a big play. Big play. I've really been watching this one. Ethereum versus BTC 4-hour chart. We just finally broke above the 200 moving average in the 4-hour chart. That is glorious. We're not too far from the 8 moving average. These indicators in general show a bit of a turn. We're going to go sideways. It's what it kind of is showing right now. Bitcoin right now is very, very volatile. I, in general, don't like to trade at all when Bitcoin is not. I'll show you one of my little secrets here. If that will render for us. Here we go. I, in general, don't like to trade when Bitcoin is, in general, I'm not saying I don't trade, but I'm very wary when Bitcoin is below the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart. It was riding it. It went below it. I'm kind of wanting the Bitcoin to come up here, challenge, and get above the 200 moving average. Okay, find support, start moving up again. And then I'm also going to be watching. I'm looking at the 4-hour chart here for Ethereum versus BTC. 4-hour, it's more sturdy. It's got, you're looking at more direction, more power to the direction. It's not 4-hour chart's a very magical chart. So I'm going to wait for that to happen. For this to happen, get above the moving average and spend maybe like 12 hours there or so. And then after that, I'm watching. And if this continues here, I'm just thinking that we might end up seeing this kind of bounce between the 200 and the 314 for a while. Then it'll break up or whatever, or Bitcoin will pump too much and then Ethereum gets his ass handed to it. But anyway, I'm always watching this because it's a magical trade. I love Ethereum, trading Ethereum versus BTC. We're in a good spot right now. This is a big deal. And also, if you look at it like this, let me actually grab the chart here. We have, as I see it, okay, there's this downwards trend we've been having here. And if you look, along with breaking that 200 moving average right here, let me make this a different color so you can see a little bit more clearly, make you a beautiful yellow. So as you can see, we have broken above the RSI cave, which is a big deal because you don't tend to stay above or below it very long. We've pushed past the moving 8, which hopefully you can see. It's the red moving average there. Pushing above that. We're probably going to return to it. We're probably going to come back to the top of this RSI cave, come down, make a little bit of a bounce. Well, actually, we're right on it, aren't we? We'll see what happens. It's pushing hard here on the 4-hour chart. So check this out. I think it's very worth noting. We've had this downtrend, and we just broke above it, along with breaking above the 200 moving average. It's all about confirming support there. Looking at the other indicators, directional index is in the green, ADX is going up. That's actually absolutely beautiful. Squeeze indicator showing a little bit of downwards momentum, but we're still on the way up. KRI looking good, but the tangent did turn down. Stochastic RSI looks good, but the tangent has turned down like that, as I call it. And the wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear is showing that we're getting a little bit overextended. So anyway, with that said, I'm waiting for Bitcoin to get a little bit more healthy. I'm going to keep an eye on this one. I do think that Ethereum versus BTC, if Ethereum starts to outgain percent-wise BTC, which it very very well may do, this might be a trade that I'm in and out of like crazy, making some extra BTC sats. I'll keep you up to date. Solara versus BTC, another one that I think very well may outpace Bitcoin as far as percent gains and be a way to make some sweet Bitcoin sats. As you can see, it is right now above the 200 moving average, and it is, sideways. It's just kind of gaining momentum sideways. The indicators are indecisive for me, but in general, I'm watching it. We're above the 2 moving average, a strong bounce. We're kind of consolidating sideways. I'm going to watch Sol versus BTC to make a move, continue making a move up. It definitely is against USDT, and definitely could be a way to make some Bitcoin sats. And do note that we are, right in this sweet spot. We're consolidating here, and we're in the middle of the RSI cave, kind of towards the bottom, well above the 2 moving average. Indicators are indecisive, but overall, they look good enough to me. Squeeze indicator shows that we're getting ready to have some upwards momentum, in my opinion. Actual index is in the green. ADX is way too low. That's fine. KRI is just in the green, but trending down. Stochastic RSI shows it's time to chill. Probably turn down a little bit. I'm watching this one. Definitely, I'm watching this to start making a move. Maybe make some Bitcoin sats there. Doge, just a damn mess. It needs to get above 24 cents, 25 cents. Find some support there. It's all over the damn place. Doge, bad dog. But Shiba Inu versus USDT made a remarkable pump today, and it looks like it may hold it. If you do note right here, we got way above the 8 moving average. That's the red moving average here. We got above it. We came back to it. We pumped above it. We're probably going to come back to it. Going to see some volatility here. It's just so overstressed right now. I don't know what to tell you. But it's dumping right now as we speak. It'll probably come back to this 8 moving average and continue up. Anyway, I don't even know how to play something which is pumping like this. But with that said, if it gets a good retrace and these indicators, KRI starts turning up, this thing needs to come down. I'm looking to catch. I'm looking to up my, it's not financial advice, but I'm looking for something like this, and I will up my position in it because I dig it. So anyway, people, remember, Bitcoin truth seekers, this is how you look energetically to the universe. You're part of something amazing. This is a peaceful revolution, and it really does matter. And what is the opposition right now? Well, every evil globalist piece of shit on earth right now is not your friend, even if they say that they are. So, Bitcoin truth seekers, I'm glad you're here for the peaceful revolution. And remember, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, a piece of shit, banker, globalist, evil thing, that this is how their soul looks right now. What are they seeing? They're seeing this, and they don't like it. I'm glad you're here.